So was the Warrior cool? What's
Well, the Warrior, the Warrior, if you are a Warrior fan, like around my genre as a kid, I mean, he let you down quite a few times, you know what I mean? Because he'd come and go.
Right.
He came and left. And, he kind of let me down in my adult life too, but, I hate to be so hard on him because I know everybody just kind of dogs the Warrior now, but, he was awesome as a kid. Fucking awesome, man. The face paint, the character, I don't care if his work was the shits. The Ultimate Warrior was cool. But he was exactly what everybody kind of explained that he was in the business. Like, he was the personification of that. He came down in April when we were doing a couple shows in Spain. He gave this speech about how he wanted to help out the young talent. And
in the locker room?
Yeah. He gave this big speech about how he wanted to help out everybody. He was here for them, and all the young kids and stuff. There were a lot of, you can imagine how there was a lot of young guys who hadn't been to WWE or anything in this locker room, like looking at the Warrior like, whoa. And you could tell that he really wanted to change the perception because I think he's aware, of how people feel about him. So, he gives us all that and it kind of works us, man. We're kind of like, all right, well, maybe he's had a change.
This Warrior ain't half bad.
Yeah.
I might join his One Warrior Nation.
Yeah, maybe I can jump back on board one more time. Right. This is the third time, but, this is it after this if he fucks up again. But, what happened? I don't have anything personally that he did to me, but it was really just kind of a letdown because we went to Spain. We're working a 2-week tour, all of us except for him. He's in a mansion. All he has to do is work out, bodybuild for his wrestling match. And, all I'm hearing from the promoters while we're busting around all over fucking Europe and busting our asses about how he's complaining about this, how he can't get into the mailbox to get his shit. So then he breaks down the mailbox. And then, it comes down to... and then he doesn't train.
Do you picture him like shaking the mailbox?
Oh,
like that?
You know what? He is like, he's crazy. I mean, he really is. I mean, there's
grabbing that top rope.
He broke the mailbox. I mean, what do you expect? It had to look Warrior-esque in some form. I mean, it couldn't have looked like a gentle break by any means. I mean, who knows? Maybe he ran back and forth and shoulder tackled the bitch. But so then, kind of just what happens, so we already kind of have a sour taste in our mouth because from our perspective, we're working our asses off, man. We're working we're doing shows every day and we're really wanting to make this NWE thing work. We're looking at it like, man, maybe we can make something. These houses are huge. We're having so much fun. And he's our big payoff match. And, the thing I think it is I think he didn't train for it like it was a wrestling match. He'd been out of the ring for 10 years and all he focused on was the bodybuilding, like it was a bodybuilding show. So
says Chris Masters. This is hilarious, by the way.
It's coming from me. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, and that's why I'm on the show, so people understand who the real me is. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, I love the gym and all, but I'm all about this business is what, where all that originated. But, so he didn't spend any time in the ring. I mean, he even came down here to California to do some training with RVD, and RVD said they maybe locked up a couple times, and that was it. So
he's like just out of the corner of his eye, he keeps on seeing that bench press in the corner. Like,
he's just so tempted by the damn bench press. He's just like, screw this.
Rob, look at those declines over there. Oh,
so okay. So then what happens is basically we get to so we're doing this 2-week tour, but our big payoff is Barcelona. It's our big show, 17,000 people. Orlando Jordan is slated to work the Ultimate Warrior. And basically, man, what happens is, I mean, he shows up to the building. He has his own locker room, which for me was still, I'd heard that it happened, from back in the days with Hogan and all that, but I'd still never seen it in my experience in the business. Even in WWE, Hunter didn't have his own locker room. Shawn didn't have their own locker room. Everybody changed, in mutual rooms. So it was weird to see that. But, whatever, that's what he's used to. But, I mean, he didn't say hi to anybody. And then, he went out there, and him and Orlando Jordan worked this 22-minute match that was literally 18 minutes too long. And it was unbelievable because we were sitting around, we were crowded around this monitor backstage with Rikishi.
Complete sellout, I'm sure.
Oh, God.
At the monitor.
Who the Juice was there, Rikishi, Gangrel, maybe, myself, and we're trying to figure out what they're saying because they're chanting in Spanish, so we're all looking at Hoovy. and Hoovy don't want to say shit. Hoovy is just like,
something you don't know.
Oh yeah, you know how they are. They don't want to be the bearer of bad news,
Right.
but finally we get it out of them, and they're chanting circus. This is bullshit. Because basically, from what Orlando had told us, within a minute and a half, the Warrior had told him he was blown and done. Literally those words. So I give Orlando a lot of credit for having to try to carry that match. And looking back, I mean, fuck, it doesn't take a genius to think that, hey, maybe this guy hasn't been in the ring in 10 years. Maybe we should take it straight to heat and then go right to the comeback.
Listen, shake some ropes, maybe
Yeah.
a little dive,
But
couple high fives, call it a day.
This was the huge thing for me. First of all, just see, like, when I first saw the Warrior 2, I mean, he looked physically huge and everything. I was like, wow, the guy looks big. He looks, he looks like a bodybuilder. But, I could just tell by his walk that age had gotten to him a little bit. And then, so for me, the big thing was, all I wanted to see was the run. I was like, if he can make it through the run and somewhat still not, hobble out there and look like the Warrior, then there's a chance for this. But I tell you, man, as soon as I saw him run out, I was like, this is not going to be good. It was not the same, man. I mean, he had the short hair too, granted, and all that. But, I mean, he kind of hobbled out there, and it's just it's not the same, man. You got to see your Warrior fucking running out there crazy, full speed. I mean, he's got to blow himself up on the entrance, and then it's okay for his lack of actual work ethic in the ring, As long as he blows it up. I always laugh when I watch that Rick Rude match, that cage match where he runs around the cage 4 times and then runs up, jumps on and shakes it. I mean, beautiful shit, but yeah, and so basically they stunk up the joint, and then Warrior didn't say bye to anybody. He left, and for me, that was probably the fine. I was like, to me, personally, I'm like, this guy has now let me down twice in my child life, and now this is going to be the final time in my adult life. I'm
Mr.
done with
Warrior.
it. Yeah, it was
Goodbye forever.
It was literally like that. It was like there was this little music video playing, because I saw him leaving the building with his luggage bag and his wife and his kid, and it was like literally watching him walk away in slow mo, and it's saying the end. And I was like, because I also knew after watching the match, I'm like, this guy's career, I know he still wants to get this one match payoff. He still is doing the stuff with Hogan, but it's over. It's over. If you would have seen that match, you would have known this is the end for the Warrior. And we'll all still have our love for the Warrior as he was in the 80s and 90s, but for him to try to do any shit nowadays is an insult to all of us.